Jeez! Yo, what's up, growth family? It's your Grandad AO, and the growth doesn't stop. Today is a very serious topic, a very important topic that I want to talk about. With everything that has gone on, to be honest, everything that's gone on in the last 700 years, you could even say, this is something that we need to talk about. It's a resurging topic that I really want to discuss and dive into on my channel. Even though I may not be the most educated about it, I still have an opinion and I am willing to express my opinion. I think I should express my opinion. I should express my opinion and allow others to come and correct me and to challenge my opinion also, which is why I host these discussions. I'm personally finally feeling a bit more recharged, a bit more energetic after how draining the football situation was and challenging that was mentally and everything. So I think it's about time we have this discussion, to be honest, because it's a discussion that we should either all at least listen to. If you're not someone that needs to take part in it, we should at least all listen to this conversation. So this whole discussion, this whole topic is pretty much based on the fact that we are not wanted here. We are not made for this country, these countries, i.e. being Western civilization, these Western countries, this Western world, whatever you want to call it, Western civilization, yeah, and we are more built for, we are made for, and we should go where we're celebrated. We should go home. Often, racists tell us that go back home. Go back home. You don't belong here. This isn't your country. And it is very draining to keep on hearing that. Many black people believe that. Many of us believe that really and truly, this isn't our home. This isn't our land that we can really call our own. We should go somewhere that we can call our own. We should make our lives there. Some people agree with this. Some people don't agree with this. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. It would be appreciated a lot. Feel free to comment your opinions. I am more than welcome to have this discussion with anyone, or even just listen to your side, because I'm probably going to say all my opinion in this video as well. The individual who is extremely known and famous for pushing black people to actually go back to our roots, whether it be in the Caribbean or whether it be in Africa, is Marcus Garvey. I'm still learning about it. I'm embarrassed to admit that I am not so educated on his life and his whole movement. I'm currently still learning and trying to dive into it just to explore what his ideas and what his ideologies were. We should go where we're celebrated. Well, there's actually there are so many different sides to the argument to go back. It's weird. Obviously, some of them agree, some of them don't agree, some of them are a bit different. Some of them are possibly outdated. Some of them, people would say, a colonizer mindset. It's a lot to it, and this is why it is so overwhelming for people to even consider and to dive into. But I'm gonna make an attempt today. Let's start with the idea we should go where we are celebrated instead of be in an environment, be in a country where they don't want us. They tell us go back home. They deport us. They're just like, why would we go? Why would we be somewhere that you're not wanted? Right? It doesn't make sense. And the way I see that is like, yeah, because in school, if someone's getting bullied, right? If someone's trying to break their way into a circle, into a friendship group in secondary school, then they keep on forcing their way in there. They keep on trying to hang around with people. 1 or 2 out of the 5 or 10 people might be like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Like, I don't really mind. But if the rest of the 5 are picking on them, still cussing them behind their back, then they're never really going to be truly accepted into that circle. The teachers can come and say, yeah, you better put them in your circle, include them, blah, blah, blah. They can even come and say, yeah, you better include. They can make as much noise as they want, but people don't want to respect you. People don't want to respect you equally. They don't want to be kind to you. They're going to be mean to you. They're going to pick on you and all of that. Like, are you really going to keep on fighting to get into that circle? For what? That friendship group, that circle isn't that great anyway. You could be better. You could even be better off without them. That's crazy. And it might be wrong for me to use that example, but that is how I see it. I do partially see it like that because we can fight to be equal. We can fight for them to respect us, but you can't really force people to change. Really and truly, people will only ever change if they want to change and they're open to change. These people aren't open to change. These people don't want us in their circles. So to a certain extent, why are we begging it? Like, man's not a beg. Do you know what I mean? And when I put it like that, it's like, I fuck off, bro. I don't care. I'm out. I'm not here for this. Man's not here to beg it with nobody in this country. I do understand with saying this though, it is not as simple as a little friendship circle and bullying in a school. Like, I'm not trying to minimize racism and this whole it's this whole system of like capitalism, fascism, racism, all tied like into one thing. I'm not trying to simple that down into like one simple thing of bullying. However, let's just imagine, let's just imagine that we do go. Every black person goes. Every black person goes back to either the Caribbean or to Africa, wherever they want to go in Africa. What's gonna happen here? I mean, to be fair, it would be nice. It would be very nice. Honestly, it would be very nice to see how dysfunctional and how badly the country would crumble. Because the way that we're treated here is like, I mean, it's nothing nice. So they don't deserve anything nice here anyway. But so if everybody goes back to Africa or the Caribbean, it will just be white people or other people of other races here. And essentially, in a way, would it not just become an echo chamber? Because nobody would be disrupting or challenging these beliefs that they have about black people and these stereotypes, and then the news will start doing more propaganda and these charities and all of these stuff I'm going to talk about a bit more later, but they'll just do all of that stuff more, right? And there wouldn't be any proper representation of how diverse we are. And could the same thing not just happen again, in the sense of, or even worse? And I mean, the same thing, what does that even mean? I don't mean the same thing, to be fair, but like, if now the races are just preaching and making more people racist by chatting, do you know what I mean? Distributing their racist beliefs, then like, who's to say that they won't come to try colonize and attack us again when we're trying to just live our lives in Africa or the Caribbean carefree? Who's to say that's not gonna happen? I don't know. I can't answer that. I can't refute that. I wouldn't put it past racists because, I mean, look at them, right? Even if, yeah, we did all go back to our homeland, like, that doesn't stop racism. It doesn't stop racism at all. That's what I'm saying. And that, because it doesn't stop racism, all it does is it stops us from experiencing racial abuse most of the time, as much as we do, being victims of racism as much as we are and we do, right? It doesn't actually stop it. It doesn't actually prevent it. It just reduces it. I mean, they could still come over and be racist to us. We could still go on holidays. That's another reason why many people say that we actually shouldn't do this whole go back to our roots, go back to Africa, go back to the Caribbean, because do we not deserve the world? Can we not travel? When we travel, we're still going to face racism. People are still going to be racist. People are still going to call us whatever names they want to call us in Portugal, in Italy, in Spain, in France. It's not going to change all of that. It's not. When we go back, people question the mindset that we're going back with. Are we going back with this mindset of that, oh, You know, we are in the gutter. We're starting from the bottom. We're in a poor country. We're in a poor place. These lot. Do you know what I mean? Are we going back with a colonizer mindset of that? Oh, we need to change this. We need to fix this. This is broken. That's broken. We need to change this. This is wrong. You need to do it like this. We're better than everybody. Okay, that's a colonizer mindset, especially the Eurocentric mindset that most of us probably have. We might not even realize that we have, right? With most of these things that we have that are a problem, it's internalized so much that we don't even realize that we are part of the problem sometimes when we go into these other environments. That's something very important that we need to consider if you do decide that you want to go back. Because I've heard people complaining about it. And I've had people tell me that, yeah, they've had to check themselves. They've had to pull themselves aside. They've had to tell someone to call them out if they're moving a bit colonizerish. One of the many reasons people give when saying, let's go back home, let's go back to Caribbean, let's go back to Africa, is that we're not built for these Western environments, especially Britain, like UK, Ireland, this area, country, whatever you want to call it. We're not really built for this cold weather. Our genetics aren't made to be here, for us to be here. So we have shorter lifespans. We face issues like genetic issues, and like we live shorter because we're not living in the place that we are genetically designed or adapted to live in. And I mean, I would love to know the science behind this, because I would, like, who doesn't love biology and genetics and all the sciencey, geeky stuff like behind it? Not to call anyone a geek, but it is a bit geeky, to be fair, if you're doing all that research. But there's nothing wrong with being a geek, man. I love it, man. I love it. Like, I would love to know all of the science behind that thought process and just how true it is, because people make these claims, but I've never seen a source to back it up. Come with the credit, come with the sources. Don't say do your research. Give me your research. Okay? Don't tell me do my research. Give me your research. That's what I want to know. Back yourself up. Where's the credit? Or are you creditless? Can't get no credit. Many people would even go to the length of saying that it's not perfect in Africa or anywhere in the Caribbean. It's not a perfect place to live. It's not all inclusive for everybody to live. The physical abuse that the LGBTQA community or LGBTQA plus community receives there, the physical abuse is crazy. Either way, they still suffer a lot here in the Western society. Let's not lie about that. It's still bad. What happens to them when everybody goes? Can they just come with us and it's going to be fine? Can anybody guarantee their safety? Look at what's happened in Ghana, right? With the laws that were passed. I can't remember the exact law and just the laws that were passed, but essentially banning, I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong. I stand to be corrected, but practically banning any homosexual behavior. Like, are we moving backwards? But then if we're talking about not being perfect, the Western society, the Western world isn't perfect either. Look at Trump. Look at Boris Johnson. Look what he's doing. Look at Matt Hancock and Priti Patel. Like, it's not necessarily perfect over here. The government is going to crap. And that's why many people want to get out. Let's get out of here. Because it is just a shambles. It really is. It really, really, really is a shambles. Just the whole government, just the state of the world even. I don't like to get all depressed thinking that and speak so negatively, because it does just bring you down when you... But it's the truth. Like, right now, the world is getting worse and it's going to shit. Like, if I'm being bluntly honest about it. And it is scary, it is depressing, but that's the truth of the matter. The sad thing is, many of us don't actually have a place in Africa or the Caribbean to call home. We don't have a place where we can go to and feel like we're at home, because we have only lived in Western society for all our lives. So we've never actually been over there. I myself am half Nigerian. I've never been Nigeria. I've been Jamaica before, but all of my relatives that lived there permanently passed away. No one lives there anymore, so I have no connection to either of those areas. So what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? Where am I going to go? Where am I going to call home? Am I going to have to start all over again? And so loads of people, I can just tell, people don't want to start over again. They don't want to start from the bottom. And I'm not saying that the Caribbean and Africa are the bottom. No, I'm just saying once they go there, they ain't got no friends, they ain't got no family that they're aware of at least. They're not familiar with the area. It's not like they've automatically got a job guaranteed. So essentially, they're starting from the bottom and they're not willing to make that sacrifice. Not many people would. It's a tough sacrifice, but I guess we have to just weigh up the opportunity cost and look at it like, okay, what's there to gain? What's there to lose? Like, what really matters here? I don't want to say social status, my work and job satisfaction and how many friends I have, or rate like what's affecting me. Am I gonna suffer from racism? Am I loved here? Do you know what I mean? What is more important to the individual? What we call home it's a weird one. Like, people can live in one area and call another place home. I don't feel like London and where I live in London is really my home. Like, yeah, I'm comfortable here. I've got friends around the place in London, but I wouldn't call it home. I don't like the weather. I'm not really happy to be here, like here, but I'm here, innit? So we'll see what happens with that. But I know I'm not alone in feeling like that. So that's another thing that is just holding people back. Another thing that is just making the move just harder, and people don't want to do it. And I don't want to be left alone here either. If everyone's going home, then someone take me with you. Someone bring me in with your family. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't leave me behind, please, please don't leave me behind. People that want to stay and don't want to leave, they often bring up the argument or question that, can we not build here? Can we not just make a nation here and make our own land and self-governments and just change here? And it makes sense. It's a good idea, like, why would we not just change here and build here? But if you think about it, like, if you really think about it, we've been doing that, been trying to do that for the last 100 years, since, like, well, maybe not 100 years fully, but even before Windrush and the proper settlers here, the all black people are here. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but even Windrush, from then, people have been trying to build here. We got asked to come over, but that's a completely different discussion, because that is just ridiculous how they're moving. But with the whole Windrush generation and the other people that came and the other settlers after that, we've been trying to build. We've been trying to grow with the nation and change things, because why not just change things peacefully, quietly, and just change things, right? It makes sense, but clearly it's not working. Look what's happened here. Look how much, barely anything's changed. Things have not changed. It's just mutated and adjusted, but it hasn't changed. Things haven't changed. Then they often ask and say that, oh, if we left, then would we not be undoing all the work that our predecessors have done? All the people, the Windows generation, everyone that was fighting, marching, rioting, Huey Newton, and just everyone here in America and just wherever they even are, just everybody. Like, would their work not have just gone to waste? But I mean, they were trying. We tried, right? And we've done our best. There's nothing wrong with that. And their work hasn't gone to waste, because without their work, we would definitely be living in much worse conditions than what we are now. So I wouldn't say it's gone to waste. But to stay here, I don't know if it's possible. The Honourable Elijah Muhammad, I was reading his book. I've been reading it. I read it. Oh my goodness, I read it a little while ago. It's alright. It's a good book. It really gets you an understanding of what was going on at the time, and I just think that we he gave a plan. He gave a plan, like an economic plan to build wealth, and it makes sense, right? You know, community pots and that, where you put money together, you spend it on the stuff that you need and build schools, hospitals, and that. But that framework, doesn't. I don't know if it still works. Are people really willing to come together like that? I I don't know. I'm yet to see something like that working. I just think we should do both. We should definitely find a place in Africa that or the wow. We should definitely find a place in Africa or the Caribbean that we can call our home. Especially in Africa, it's so big, it's so vast, it's so diverse in different cultures, different people. That that from like like there has to be somewhere for everyone, even if there's still work to be done. There has to be somewhere for everyone. People, like I said, people are afraid to go there. People have this idea. People have this idea in their head that Africa, Caribbean, it's just poverty. It's just barren land, dry land. You're gonna be living a certain type of way. No, it's not like that. That's not guaranteed at all. There's so many different areas, different cultures, environments for you to live in. You will find somewhere that you like to live in. You will find a way of life that you like to live. But if you go there with what you've seen, and that's the thing, most of us, we need to unlearn all these things that we have learned, because even me, I know I've got a lot of unlearning to do. All I've ever seen of Africa, more or less, is just what they show me on the charity adverts, and that's disgusting. Like, they are literally just exploiting people and presenting a certain image. Even on the news, they just present a very certain image of Africa or the Caribbean to fit their agenda, to fit the stereotype, to push their agenda. We need to unlearn all of that. All of us, especially if we're looking to go back to these places. We can't go there with this mindset. These rotten mindsets that most of us secretly have. If we can do both, be connected to the motherland, be connected to Africa, to our home in Africa, or just to somewhere in the Caribbean, then blossom wherever we want. But we know that we've got this place behind us. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm from here. We need to start owning it with our chest, owning our homes with our chest. Like, why not just blossom in both areas so we can go wherever we want? But we know that if this country goes to shit, this country goes to crap, then we've got our home that we can always go to. A lot of people are just definitely in love with Western society, Western culture, and they just don't realize that part of the culture, not even part of the culture, Western society is pretty much founded on the backs of others, founded on African, Caribbean people, and just it is founded off the poverty of others. So to be in love with Western society, with these beautiful buildings that you call beautiful, and landscapes, whatever that they've got in whatever part of Western society you live in, like that is probably built off the back of slavery, off the back of others, of the oppression. That's what I was looking for. It's built off the backs of the. It's built from the oppression of others. People don't realize that. They just want to enjoy. They just want to. Oh, it's not that deep, but that's why they're pushing these things, and that's why they're still racist. That's why they. Please, don't forget, guys. Africa is a continent and not a country. It is diverse. It is huge, like massive. It's a massive continent, bigger than you probably even imagine, bigger than I imagine. You probably can't fathom how big it actually is, like one end to another end, because it is massive. And due to that, it is extremely diverse. There's so many cultures, so many different people. There just has to be somewhere that you can go to call home. And how can you not want to go home? Feel loved in your home, feel comfortable in your home, proud to call somewhere your home. That's it, growth family. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I appreciate it a lot. Until next time. Jeez!